Roads go ever, ever on, over rock and under tree, by caves where never sun is shone, by streams that never see the sea, over snow by winter sown, and through the merry flowers of June, and over grass and over stone, and under mountains in the moon. Roads go ever, ever on, under cloud and under star, yet feet that wandering have gone turn at last to home afar. Eyes that fire and sword have seen, and horror in the hall of stone, look at last on meadows green, and trees and hills they long have known. Bilbo Baggins, at the end of The Hobbit. During this last week, my granddaughters have memorized that as a school assignment and gave me some inspiration. Because we all have many roads that we travel in our life. And within the space of 1 week, 2 travelers came to the end of their road. They reached it at home. Rosalind Carter, my nephew, Douglas Felke. There's a Robert Frost poem that includes these lines at the very end. I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. In each of their ways, these 2 people traveled roads less taken and made a big difference. Where were the places that their travels took them? For Ms. Rosalind, it was the world writ large. From a librarian to world citizen, Georgia, Hawaii, the White House, and so many countries, world writ large. For Douglas, it was the world writ small. At birth, diagnosed with Down syndrome. He lived his entire life at home with his parents. He worked in restaurants. He participated in Special Olympics. And he fully participated in all family festivities. Who were the people they met on their travels? Well, for Ms. Rosalind, her beloved husband, Jimmy. Then there were the neighbors, the fellow church members, the fellow volunteers. Think Habitat for Humanity. Think mental health organizations. Think their own organization. And so many world leaders in all those countries that they traveled to. For Douglas, well, again, the world was small. He was always friendly to everyone he met. And his special people were his mom, Margaret, or Marge, his father, Donald, Joe's older brother, Doug's older sister, Donna, and her family, his younger brother, Ken, and his family, and many family members, and especially Uncle Joe. Joe was a teenager when Doug was born, and that started a long-term bonding. Anytime we were visiting in Minnesota, which is where this part of the family resides, outside of St. Paul, White Bear Lake. Anytime we visited, Doug always glomped on to Uncle Joe, insisted he sit with him, do things with him. When we went to Connecticut, we flew from here to Connecticut for Ken's wedding, at which Douglas was the best man and carried the role. When we were there, he glomped on to Uncle Joe and insisted that Uncle Joe go with him in another car from the church to the reception. Well, that left me with a rental car in eastern coastal Connecticut, which is all wooded. Talk about roads, little two-lane roads that zig and zag all through those trees. I got lost. I wound up about 20 minutes late to the reception, and everyone missed me except Doug, because he had Uncle Joe. But I didn't miss all of the fun of the reception, and that's what counted. And Joe and Doug had a wonderful time, and it was a pleasure to see that. Oh, in passing, you know, Doug never married. He had friends. He never really had a girlfriend. But I'll tell you this, he had a big crush on Farrah Fawcett. A big poster of her in his bedroom. And he would call her my girlfriend. And I often thought, could we contact Farrah and maybe have her send a letter to him? But that turned out to be not feasible. We tried, didn't happen. So these are the places and the people. But what differences did they make? For Ms. Roslin, a forever love story with her husband Jimmy, an emphasis on mental health combined with working toward mental health for all, and certainly a role model for some. For Douglas, he showed how a person with Down syndrome could be involved in everyday life and relate to just about everybody. And he helped us learn to be patient. Now, both lived in their travels, the road less traveled. She was 96. Not a lot of women reach that. And Doug was 60. When he was born, the life expectancy for someone with Down syndrome was 15 to 16 years. Remarkable. In conclusion, they each took the road less traveled by, and that did make all the difference. Where are your roads taking you? Where have they taken you? What differences are we all making in our lives? Think about that, and think about where you've been, where you want to go, the people, the places, the differences. And a final Robert Frost poem comes to mind and ends with these words. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Rest in sleep, rest in peace, Ms. Roslin and Douglas.